everybody. Welcome to another Wednesday. It's been a busy time at the church this week. We have some exciting news. This Sunday, we'll be back in the church again. And that's big news. We've been out of the church a very long time. And today, to get ready, a special thing happened. 2 people came and they scrubbed down all the wood on the pews to make them nice and clean. And then they took a steam cleaner and they cleaned all the cushions. It took them a long time. But it smells so good in here, and we're busy getting ready for the first service back. On Sunday, there'll be 2 services, one at 8:30 and one at 11. So I hope you can come to one of the services. If you can't, they will still be online, just like they always are. Also, this time when we start up services, we're going to have live children's messages, and they will be at both services, on the 8:30 service and the 11. So that'll be a fun time. And I'm going to continue doing our Wednesday little meeting time. So we've got lots of contact with kids. Now, today I have some of my silly jokes for you. I'm sorry, they're really bad. Here we go. This is the number 1 joke. Why are teddy bears never hungry? You ready? They are always stuffed. Not real funny, but kind of cute. What animal has more lives than a cat? Now we know we say a cat has 9 lives. What animal could have more lives than a cat? You ready? Frogs have more lives than a cat because they croak every night. I kind of like that one. What did the duck say when she bought lipstick? You ready? Put it on my bill. I like that one. And finally, the last bad joke of the day. Why did the witches team lose the baseball game? Why could a witches team lose a baseball game? Let me see. Their bats flew away. Get it? Bats flying away. I'm sorry, I know they're bad, but I have a good time finding them. I probably read 25 for every one I use. Now, today we are going to talk about something that used to be very popular. I don't think it's as popular anymore. I wonder what's in this case. What do you think? Let's open it up and see. I bet some of you have seen these before. Does anyone know what this is? It's called a spinner. Now, spinners are interesting because they really serve no purpose. They're just something fun to play with. And some people think they're very relaxing. They were real popular, maybe 2 years ago, maybe even longer ago than that. And they come in all sizes and shapes and all different prices. You can buy plastic ones for less than $1. And then they have some better ones. Well, I really like gimmicky little things. So of course I had to have some spinners. So the first one I bought was this one. And you can see the only thing it has in common with this one is it has 3 points, and this one has 3 points. And it has a circle in the middle, and so does this one. Well, this was the first one I bought, and it was pretty cheap. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't very much. And it works great. Just spin it and watch it go. Then I believe this was the second one I bought, the one I already showed you. And it works great too. It's silver, this one's black. This one has holes, this one has little beads in it. And then finally, I have this one, and this is a brass one. And this one was my most expensive spinner, and it's really pretty heavy. But you know what? It does the same thing as the rest. It has 3 points and a circle in the middle, and it just spins around. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why on earth is Sarah talking about spinners for the children's sermon? Well, you know what? I've decided that spinners are a lot like a family. When I was growing up, I was an only child, and I had a mom and a dad. And that was, well, I'm 70, so that was a long, long time ago. And at that time, most families, or a lot of families, consisted of a mom and dad and children. Well, over time, our family makeup has changed. And so now we can't think of a family as just a mom, a dad, and kids. But the family still works the same way. If you have a mom and 2 kids, or a dad and 2 or 3 kids, and the mom or dad are someplace else, or if you live with your grandma and your brothers and sisters, then that's a family. Any group of people that live together are really a family, and they take care of each other, and there's usually one person in that family that is what we call the boss. Now, if you have a mom and a dad, then they probably work together to take care of the children. That would be ideal. But lots of times it falls on one parent or the other because of work schedules or whatever. Really, none of that matters. And that's why I like the fact that all 3 of these spinners look different, because they could all represent a different kind of family. But if you notice, in each one of them, there's a center. And that center represents the people in the family that take care of you. Now, I would like to talk about this spinner for a minute. And let's just suppose that, this is a family, and there's a mom. And the mom's in the middle because she tells the kids how she takes care of the kids, tells them how to be safe, and teaches them. Then on the outside, there's a brother and 2 sisters. Okay? Now, if everyone is happy in the family and doing what they're supposed to be doing, the family just spins along every day and life is good. But we all know that in a family, sometimes there's a problem. Here's the problem. Now, this particular problem is that the boy in the family doesn't come right home after school, and the mother worries about him. So on a day that the boy doesn't come right home from school, the mother is worried. And when she's worried, she gets short-tempered with the 2 girls because she's worried about the boy. And that messes up the family, and you can see it can't spin like it normally does. So she talks to the boy and she explains why it's important that he comes home, that she's worried that he might be kidnapped or something like that, who knows. And the boy starts to come home on time, and everybody's life is better, and the family spins, and life is good. Now, my family growing up, I told you, was a mom and a dad and me. Well, really, my mom and dad were both in the middle because they both really pretty much did the same things for me. However, I was the one that caused the problem. Imagine that. So we'd be spinning along and everything would be great, and all of a sudden I'd decide it was time for me to do one of my tricks. Let me give you an example of a time when I stopped the family spin. I had a rabbit, and its name was Pinky. And I named it Pinky because it was a big white rabbit, and it had long ears, and the insides were bright pink, and it had 2 pink eyes. So I named the rabbit Pinky. Well, Pinky got very, very, very big. And Pinky had a nice cage my dad built for it, and then a chicken wire runway that it could go out on and then go back in its hutch and go out and go back in its hutch. Well, one Sunday morning we were ready for church. and I was all dressed up to go, and I had on a white sweater. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And I said to my mom, I'm going to wait outside. And my mother said, that's fine, but do not get close to Pinky. Well, what do you suppose I did? Of course, I went right out, disobeyed my mother, and went right to see Pinky. Well, what I haven't told you about Pinky is that Pinky had a bad habit. A very bad habit. Pinky liked to lift his leg and spray pee-pee on people. So this particular Sunday, all dressed up, white sweater, out I go, and what do you suppose happens? Pinky lifts his leg, and I get Pinky pee-pee all over me. Well, I knew I'd be in trouble, so what do you think I did? I said absolutely nothing and got in the back of the car and waited for my mom and dad. Out they came and off we went to church. We were about halfway there when my mother said, "What is that smell?" And I said from the back seat, "I have no idea. Maybe you stepped on something." And on we went. And we got to church. And my dad said, "Something really smells bad." And when we got out at the church, there were yellow stains all over my sweater where Pinky had gotten me. Now, what do you think that did to the spinning wheel of a loving family? We're at the church, ready to go in. It's time for church, and I'm covered in Pinky pee. One big clink in the spinning. Whose fault was it? It was my fault, because I disobeyed and didn't listen to my mom and dad. So the wheel got stuck. We had to go home because I couldn't go in the church. And we never got to church that Sunday. I had to take a bath. I had to put on clean clothes, and by then church was over. So that's what I mean by when somebody in a family puts a cog in it. It can be somebody who lies about something, there's the cog. It can be somebody who doesn't do what they're asked to do, clear the table, whatever it is. But as long as everyone follows the directions of their mom and dad, it spins good. Life is good. Now, God tells us that we are to honor and respect our parents. And honor and respect means to do what they ask you to do when they ask you. Obviously, to be pleasant and nice to them. And to be proud of your parents. Or whoever you live with that makes your family structure. Grandma, an aunt, whoever it is. If you're adopted, your adopted family, it doesn't make any difference because even though they're shaped different, all families have the same characteristics. Now, there's a little bit more to this. We said the family is in the middle. But you know what? And this I've tried to do at home and I can't do it. If we spin this family, and I spin this family, and if I could, I'd spin the third family, but I am not coordinated enough to do it. All these spin, these families, and guess what? There's another center right here. And that center is God in the middle of all the spinning families. So while this family spins and this family spins, God is spinning right here in the middle. And he's looking out for both families and guiding people in the family as to what they should do. So if we have a family that is based in God, we have a family that spins very well. And if there's a clog in the family, mom, dad, or you can go to God and ask for help and ask for a way to make it better. So what I want you to think about today is the fact that, number one, families aren't all the same. It doesn't matter. As long as you respect the person that you live with or the people that you live with, and you do what they ask you to do. Because let's face it, no mom gets up in the morning and says, now let me see, what can I do today to make my child unhappy and to put them in a dangerous situation? Of course not. The decisions that your mom, dad, or whoever takes care of you make are meant to keep you safe and to teach you lessons. So be respectful. Don't be the person who causes the problem and messes up the spin in your family. And if the spin does get messed up, remember, in the middle of all the spinners, God is spinning. And anyone in your family can go to God for help, to help get your family back spinning the right way. And that is my story about the spinners. They really are kind of fun to play with. I hope you got a good message from that. Now let us say a prayer. God, we know that you watch over every single family. And you can see what's really going on in every single family. You know who's being respectful and who's doing their best to fit into the family. Families aren't always at a happy point in their life. There are many things that can make a family be sad. The death of someone, losing a job, worrying about money. But all of those things are small compared to the love and the joy that you can get in a family that respects and loves each other. So please be available, which we know you are, to help any family that has an issue. May they come to you and seek answers, and may you supply them. Because God, you are the great spinner of the universe, and everything spinning around you is under you. Thank you. Amen.